Hey everyone, I know it's been a little while since I've done a video blog upload, but I wanted to talk to you all in a very special edition of my um, vacation vlog, I guess you could say. So today is January 22nd, and as some of you are aware, I went on the Grom of the Seas cruise. Um, Today is unfortunately the final day. Tomorrow at 6 in the morning, we leave the ship and, we have brunch and we all go back to our separate lives. And there was about 64 of us on the cruise, which is amazing. And for some of you that haven't been keeping up with some of the stuff online and on Twitter and on Grommer, um, it's a cruise that was really. It's a civilian cruise, I guess you could say, but about 60 to 70 of us were booked on the ship, so we had pretty much free run of the ship and all of its stuff. And I just wanted to make a video as a kind of wrap up for my final thoughts on the vacation and just some of the cool stuff that we did, and then also kind of talk about my plans for future events and what I've learned, from being here. Um, so first, just to kind of go over where we went, we had left Fort Lauderdale and we went to Nassau, and then we were at sea for 2 days, and then we went to Aruba, and then Curacao, and then we sailed back up. So it was a three-port cruise, and I mean, just I didn't get a chance to get off at Nassau and Curacao because the walk was way too far with my really bad hip. But the people in Aruba were fantastic. Like everybody was just so nice. I don't even really even know where to start. Like the cab driver was really nice. All of the merchants were really nice. Me and my partner, we had such a good time. It was really nice and relaxing. Um, and we spent the day at Eagle Beach, which just was so cool in itself. It's like the third best rated beach in the world. And I mean, the sand is perfect, the water was perfect. Just everything you can envision you wanted in a vacation would be there. Um, so that was the ports, and those were really great. A few of the more, we'll say, mobile members of our group went off and did excursions and walked around and did things in those port towns, and they had a really good time. Some of them even shared, we had one member go on a submarine tour. We had a few other members go to a cave thing and do splunking. All of this stuff that I would not be able to do because of my growing obesity. But yeah, it was super cool. We had a lot of fun. And then we also, and then just to talk a little bit about the Royal Caribbean staff, just everyone here, on the ship, was so incredibly nice and helpful. We were on the Odyssey of the Seas, so we were originally on the Jewel, which is a smaller ship and is older. And then due to COVID scheduling stuff, we ended up getting re-put on the Odyssey. And oh my god, everybody here, just amazing, 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 amazing service. Just everybody's just so nice. Um, so I really love that. Just it was good. They would check on you. They would ask, what you needed all the time. They would, go ahead and say, hey, is there anything, I can get you? They would do special accommodations. So yeah, awesome service. And then just talking about everybody in the group. I've been part of this community since 2004, 2003. That's when I was a lurker. But 2004 is when I officially entered the community. I was 220 pounds at the time. And I was in a really bad spot in my life. I'm sorry. I have a sinus infection. It's not COVID, I promise. Because that's the other thing I want to get into later in this video. Um, but I was in a really bad spot in my life. Was with a partner who was very, abusive. Um, did not like really fat guys. Wanted to lose weight, and I wanted to gain weight. Just really not a good spot. And this community welcomed me with open arms then, and being on this being on this cruise has only strengthened that. Like, I am so incredibly proud and happy to call myself a gainer, an encourager, to be gay, to be a bear, to be a super chub. I'm so incredibly happy to be part of this community, and the support and the love and the just everything on this cruise just strengthened that. It just made me really want to be around these people more, and it just reemphasized that decision I made all those years ago in 2004 to not be afraid, to not be scared, to come out and be around these people and fulfill my dream of being really big, which is still ongoing. Is just it just made it all come more true. It was the perfect culmination of almost 20 years of work as a gamer. Like, it was the perfect culmination of, like, you have been involved in this community for like 20 years, and now you get the chance to be in a position where people are going to talk to you, and like, you get to share those experiences. That's honestly really, as fun as the sights were on this trip, and as fun as this wait staff was, and oh my god, the unlimited food. I'll get in that in a second. But as much as that goes, really the coup de grace of this trip was really just meeting everybody and, like, making those connections in person. Like, I just like love hearing people's stories, and how they came into this community and what they're looking for, and you know what they need to succeed. And I feel just incredibly blessed to have been shared those stories. Um, just I better in every sense of the word. And sorry, I think they're cleaning out something in one of the decks below. So sorry for the background noise. But yeah, just so fantastic, so amazing. Um, and then I'll talk about the food. So, the food was like really good. We had unlimited food, so for anybody out there that's excited about that, we had that. So, and then room service, you paid like a small amount of money, and it was like $10, and you would get like unlimited food in your room service. And then they have a buffet here, and then they have more specialty restaurants, which I went to a few of those on my trip. So they have one that's like an immersive dining experience where the food you eat like tells a story, which that was really cool. Like, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we ate a lot. I mean, like, we're talking like 7, 8 meals a day. I mean, just my stomach hurts. Just thinking about it. The food was good. I mean, like, some of it was like anime food. Like, if you're ever like kind of familiar with what anime food is, like from a Miyazaki film, like that is what the food was every single day. Like, every day. Even the food that was like kind of not, something like that's like more the lower class food. Hate to say it that way, but yeah, it was pretty much that. It was so good. I mean, like, everything was good, and yeah, and you know, and no YouTube, I am not naked. I have underwear on. But yeah, I mean, just amazing. But yeah, and like, just be like I said before, just like with the whole COVID thing going on, I realized that there has been a lot of hate online, on Twitter, on Grom, on Facebook, on all these different sites, about how We were irresponsible. We made bad choices. We came at a really bad time. Look, here's the thing. This week's Sam King, who runs the Travel by Large, like his agency, we started the process of getting the tickets for this cruise back in March of 2021. In March 2021, the world was a slightly different place. We had a new president that was coming in that we had thought was going to save all this. And to be fair, Joe Biden tried. He, tried to make vaccine, mandates that kept getting knocked down by the Supreme Court. Life was in a different spot, and we thought it was going to be better. And all of us spent all of that money in order to do that. Unfortunately, anti vaxxers, all those other unforeseen things changed that. And now we have all of these crazy variants, Delta, Omicron, Alpha, Beta, Zeta, Theta, Kappa, whatever, I don't know. A billion of them are out there. And to be honest, this couldn't, Omicron is a very bad illness, and it's a very bad thing, but honestly, if you're vaccinated and you're boosted, it's a mild form of illness, Unfortunately, someone on our trip, which I won't name who they are, did end up getting it, and we believe they may have gotten it from, I won't reveal who, but it was not somebody on the trip. Um, and yeah, they got tested, and they were put in quarantine for the remainder of the trip, and it was really sad. And we're going to do everything we can to get this person to have a really good Grommer experience after we get back to shore and we land. And, they're a very close friend of mine. But, it happened, and I'm telling you, there's probably like 400 or 500 plus people on the ship, and only about 12 or 18 of those people were in quarantine. And that includes both the officers, crew, other passengers, people in our group, like everybody. So, it's like literally like 2 to 3% of people on board. And, and they've been nothing. I was tested before I got on the cruise, 2 days after I got on the cruise. So before and then after. And then I had to get another one. Like, I literally have not been tested for COVID this much since the whole pandemic started. And it's completely free. They're like, oh, we're going to swab you. I'm like, okay. And I'm completely fine. I got a sinus infection from swimming in the ocean and stuff. And I got some, nasty stuff going on. So when I go back, I got to get to the doctor and get some antibiotics. But, yeah, nothing but safety and security. And we all had to wear these, white wristbands, indicating that, we're vaccinated, and, only certain vaccinated people could go to certain spots. Kids weren't required to be vaccinated, but adults were. So they had to wear, these white bracelets. So it was completely safe. It was completely safe. We ate a lot. We met each other. We had a good time. I feel like it was a year in the making. There was a lot of things that I had to do to self-sacrifice to be here. Paying a lot of things off staggeredly, making sure that the amount of, money was put aside, and then dealing with all the flight cancellations, the changes, and the cruise updates, and everything. But I can tell you 100% it was worth it. Every single ounce of effort, every penny, every single thing that I've done was worth it to be here with this group today, because, again, I just love this community. I love what we stand for, the fact that we will not allow society dictate to what our bodies need to look like, to what we need to feel, to who we are, to the actions that we made. We don't need to. You don't need to hide. Come out. Talk to people. People will love you. Do not hide. Because if you hide, you ignore these amazing experiences that you get a chance to have and create and develop. And I mean, just to kind of give you an idea of what I like saw every morning out of my balcony. I don't know if this will work, but saw every morning out of my balcony. Like I got to see the like like endless beautiful ocean, like combined with unlimited food. Like it is heaven. Like I was telling my mom on the phone, like if I die like tomorrow or whenever, like and you're like, okay, where did Mark go? Like what's heaven like for him? This is it. An endless floating cruise ship filled with sexy guys and food. I mean, honestly, like it's just amazing. So long story short, Grom of the Seas 2022, best vacation, best experience of my life. I will definitely be doing one of these again. But yeah, I mean, I do realize all of the COVID related concerns and worries and being nervous and and kind of worrying about the promotion of a cruise during a pandemic, but they did everything possible. The Royal Caribbean crew and everybody did everything possible to make sure this was as safe as possible. Like they, I don't even. I have no words. Like I've talked with people. And I talked with the crew, and the crew like was just nothing but so appreciative we were on board because of everything that's been going on. And all the cancellations and all of the stuff that's been happening. And I just it was like amazing. Like, and I mean on the more gainer side of things, like you could like walk in and you see people like eating like 8 or 9 plates of food, like, and it's a normal thing. Like, yeah, we get stares from civilians and we get looks from people, but no one cares. Like people rubbing each other's bellies in public, no one cares. It's almost like for a week you get a chance to really live in a world that you should live in. Like, that if you were straight, you would walk around with your girlfriend and hold her hand as you walk through the public. Like, that is what this was for a gainer. Like, it was amazing. It was just amazing. And I'm definitely, I learned something on the cruise, a new term to me. And it's something called event drop. And it means when you leave a vacation that's prolonged or whatever, or like you go on something like this and you get depressed because you're no longer there, that is actually called event drop. And the way around that is you just start planning for the next one. You're like, okay, I really like this. Like, okay, time to put money aside and see what I can do to, get the next one going. And most importantly, keep in touch with your friends that are out there. If you made friend on this journey, talk to them. Just because, you and your friend may be, like my one friend, we're like almost 1,400 miles away from each other, but we talk to each other on the phone frequently, and we are like we make plans. We're gonna be making plans to see each other. Like it's it's one of those things. And I met some new friends on this trip that I've always wanted to really get to connect with, but really did not get to connect with them on a really deep level. And then just all the other guys that I met on this trip, some that I've wanted to talk to for years, like in depth, and never did. I met new friends. I met people that I just like have never met in the community before. And I mean, I've been doing this stuff a while, and I mean, I met a lot of people, and yeah, I've met people that I didn't meet before, and they're my friends now. So it's just one of those things where it's more than just get a bunch of food. It's more than just meeting and hooking up. It's that, but it's that on a whole like unique level in itself. And there's fun events and games. There's karaoke. There's dancing. There's trivia if you're into that. There's the shore excursions. There's nightlife. There's an adults only area. There's different things you can do on board. There's bumper cars. There's actually bumper cars on board, which I know the next cruise is probably not going to have a lot of these cool features because it's going on like a ship that's a little bit cheaper, but because we just lucked out with this one because of the conversion. But yeah, just simply amazing. So, I know we're 20 minutes, but just to wrap this up, do something like this. It's okay to come out. It's okay to be you. Everybody out there is going to love you in some way, shape, or form, and we're all going to be here for you. And if nobody is there for you, I will be there for you. Like I want everybody in this community to, whether you're questioning on coming out, or you've come out and you're like just lost and confused, I want to be there for you. I want you to be able to share in the same happiness that I have shared on this journey with my partner, me, my friends, all the wonderful people in my life, you know. And I just want to end this video on one note. Um, Going back to, me coming out in 2004, I wanted to share a little bit of a story. Um, I remember there was one night in 2004. It was December 12th. I never remember this because it was my ex's birthday. And I remember I bought him, a big, thing, and I did all this stuff. And I remember he was still upset at me over something really dumb. I think it was the fact that I got him the wrong kind of cake or something. And I remember sitting there and I remember thinking, nothing will ever get better. I just need to end it. And honestly, that night was really dark for me. It was a really dark and scary night because I was in the wrong kind of relationship. I was in the wrong type of situation. And I remember sitting there thinking, like, I should just do it. And I was on the cusp of doing it. And fortunately, my mom had called me and she's like, you want to go out to Eaton Park, which is a restaurant in Pittsburgh? And I was like, sure. And I remember we went out to Eaton Park and we had a really good time. And I'll never forget that. But I look back on that exact night where I was around the time I was going to join the community, and I was still struggling with, being a gainer, and I was still struggling with all these new things that were coming up as a person, and being genuine and everything. And I remember I was struggling, and I remember I couldn't do it. I remember, like, this is the end. We're going to definitely do it tonight. And today, this whole vacation has made me so happy I never pulled the trigger, so happy that I never killed myself, so happy that I never did that, because I would, despite all the problems in the world, which there are many and they do suck and everything, I am so happy that I stuck in there. So if you're having those feelings, just know you're not alone, and people are there for you. And in this journey and in this cruise has definitely reinforced those thoughts. So yeah, so again, just wanted to get my little input on the whole Gromer cruise. And and hopefully if you feel you like to, Sam is actually starting to book another one of these. Sorry, there's a lot of C stuff. Sam is starting to book another one of these for next year. So if you do watch this, I hope you get a chance to book next year's, and hopefully I'll get a chance to meet you then, because I'm going to try to do next year's if I can. So yeah. So at any rate, no, this was a long video. Just wanted to share my thoughts. Before I part, I'll share one final thing of the ocean with you guys. It's just so pretty, man. It's amazing. Like, yeah, just so cool. Like, every morning, it's amazing. The world is so endless. It's crazy. All right, take care, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.